Hello, my friends, and welcome to CGL's Console Overwatch Multi-Tier Tournament. My name is Bullskunk, alongside Chef Billy, bringing you all the action poetry. And today's poetry involves a Tier 2 matchup between Neptune Oceanus and Saga Genesis. Billy, how do these teams look so far coming into this Week 2 matchup?
Well, I didn't get a chance to see their preseason matches. However, I did get to look up what they did last week. Both teams are coming in 1-0. For the squad from Neptune, they come in on a 1-0 record, winning in a clean sweep 4-0 over the Pack Academy Tier 2. And then Saga Genesis also coming in 1-0 on the fresh new season here. They went the distance against Solo Valkyrie in another Tier 2 matchup. So, man, both teams are coming in on a winning streak, so I think that we're going to have a pretty good match here. As I send us into our first match here, we're running a little bit of a fun time today. We were looking at some earlier stuff with Overwatch League, some computer issues on my end, and other stuff going on. But man, I tell you what, looking at the team from Saga Genesis, their healing core is one of their hallmarks of this team. But you don't have, for this week, you don't have Baptiste, and that's a big boy that's been banned for this week. Also, you're not going to have Diva as a damage mitigator. And then McCree, Soldier, Sombra, and Widow. 4 hit scans being taken out of the rotation, Skunk. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, the only place you're going to see Diva is up on the billboards here in Busan, as our favorite mech hero has been removed. And man, it's thrown a wrinkle, I think, into a lot of people's compositions here in Week 2.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
5,
All right.
3,
Gates are open. Let's get this Tier 2 matchup underway. Looks like we are going to get double shield here on the side of Saga with Pharah in the skies. Mei down below to put the hurt down. Reaper Mei coming out from the side of Neptune here to start things off from Busan. Early wall coming up. It's actually going to split the Mei off here on Saga. Neo trying to get those shotguns down, but she's able to escape back into safety. And it's going to be Slice in the skies, picking up first blood. Just raining hell from above the train tracks over here. And so far, I don't think Neptune has even looked up yet, and that is going to be detrimental to them, as those rockets are rating true. 3K coming through for Slice so far in this engagement. Saga should get this thing started. Make that 4.
Yeah, that's a very good engagement. Nothing. I mean, we've seen it a lot here in this week's game so far. Is that if a team does not think that Afara is going to be out there, it's like she's invisible to them. And the same holding here true for the squad from goodness gracious.
Yeah, Neptune making the swap here over to the Ash. You can see Neo decided that they better deal with those guys, or this is going to be a very quick round 1. Forcing the Pharah to kind of fall back and hide, at least keeping her in check there in the air. Meanwhile, on the front line, Maywall's coming out from both teams, trying to separate the Reinhardts from the rest of the squad. Both able to kind of tiptoe around it. Neptune with this double shield composition going over to the Orisa Sigma here, which is gonna, I think it's gonna take away a little of their up close and personal brawl potential. Neo does find the kill on Far, picking her out of the sky. So Neptune with a one-man advantage as they're looking to push in here. They're gonna have to be careful, but already with that Earth Shatter online and ready to go. Blizzard not too far behind that. Teams moving in. Nano Boost coming out onto the Orisa here for Neptune as they look to push in. Looks like Saga's just holding here in the little cubby. So far, keeping him at bay. Oh, that's the Maywall that they were looking for on the side of Neptune, and Bolt has nowhere to run. Main tank down here for Saga. Barrage coming out, trying to equalize things. Picks up 2 here for the Pharah. Oh, it may be enough. It's a 4v4 here on the objective. Jellybob's going to try to turn it the other way, flip the balance, and is going to pick up 3 kills in the process. Gravitic Flux used, and Neptune should get this thing flipped over, though the stall's coming through.
Yeah, the stalls are definitely coming through, and that was a really good sequence of events from Neptune there. Investing that Gravitic Flux is a huge play for them, and also the Nano Boost going on to Shill Lady. Yeah, big turnaround there, even though it is 92 percentage capture points for Saga. Great showing here in the beginning, but also a good amount of tenacity for Neptune to be able to turn it around and take the point, getting their capture progress moving forward. So you've got a couple of good ultimates online for them as well. So a 4-pack going against it for Saga.
Yeah, they're going to come in with Blizzard, both their tank ults as well, as they're going to open up with Supercharger. I am Tybolt just going in, swinging. Just keep swinging there, Tybolt. Oh, but here comes Blizzard out from the other side. 2 kills come through with that. And despite losing their tank, Saga coming up with a lot of big kills. We actually had Blizzards thrown in for both departments, I believe.
Dueling Blizzards there, and a big res coming up from Canasup onto Tybolt. 98%, 99. I don't think they're going to be able to touch. They do touch, though.
Yeah, just barely making it back on. They're using Bob, actually, to help put some presence on the point, keep that wick going. They go to the Hammond as well. A little bit of a Tracer swap coming out of Repulse as they all just go into these get back in time compositions. We do get the Supercharger coming out from Neptune as they're desperately trying to move in here, but a second barrage coming out from Slice is going to find 2 before he finally goes down. But I think his work had been done here, and Saga in a prime position to take a 1-0 lead here on Busan.
Absolutely, and then once the Hammond goes down, it's game over for that. So really strong showing from Saga here on the opening point of Busan here in downtown. It looks like they want to do kind of the air and sky attack. They seem to be very entrenched upon that. Also using the Ice Queen to very good effect there in the first round. I think once Neptune ended up swapping over to the Ash, I think that was a really good swap. I also think pulling out the Sigma to kind of get that secondary shield to watch their back was a huge swap for them. And that, I mean, it started paying dividends for them, but I think the damage was already done, 92%. It was just one fight that Saga had to win, and they were going to go ahead and claim the first point. So let's see if there's a compositional shift here.
We do have a little bit. Slice going over to that Reaper coming off the Pharah. Both teams sticking with the Mei, Neo sticking with that Ash. And in round 1 there, it looked like Saga were the only ones who remembered to bring their ski jackets. Neptune frozen cold there. We'll see if they have a little bit better luck dealing with the Ice Queen here as we head into Mech Base.
I really like this rotation.
Yeah. And Neptune taking an interesting position, but fantastic rotation coming out of Saga here. They're just going to come meet up on the top. Maywall's coming out from both sides. Neptune's going to go ahead and drop down a point on that, but they lose Repulsion in the process. One-man advantage here as the fight breaks out on the objective.
Huge halt.
Yeah,
from Soul Eater.
Reinhardt just going in, swinging on the back of that. Here comes the Earth Shatter. 3-man fall into the weight of that hammer, and the kills coming through. And after a nice back and forth, it will be Saga coming up with first capture percentage here in Mecha Base.
Yeah, and Jelly Bop was trying to get off, and he actually eaten by Moira, who actually got her coalescence with that exit kill. So great aggression, a much better opening here from both teams. I think that the Mei Reaper comp may be the superior comp, and as I say that, Neotestin for Neptune has swapped off of the Ash and gone over to the Reaper.
Yes, sir. And so far, it's going to work out. He's put a lot of damage into that Reinhardt. Twice able to get the final blow on that. And the big advantage here is there's no main tank. Well, I guess there were 2 main tanks, but there's no Reinhardt standing here for Sagas are looking to hold this thing. Neptune coming in, going to go thread the Blizzard on the point, trying to recontest. Fortify using the Orisa, but everybody else frozen stiff. The Lucio goes down with the sound barrier in his pocket. That could have been the one to save him there. Instead, after a bit of cleanup here, Neptune should be getting this thing flipped right on over.
Absolutely, and Shill Lady swapping off of the Orisa and now going to the Zarya. So now we have got a Rein Zarya comp going into what they are facing right now. I think that's a massively big brain play coming from Neptune, bringing the more brawly, in-your-face bubble energy beam comp coming into it now.
Yeah, that should definitely give Jelly Bop a bit of an advantage there in the Rein v. Rein. Speaking of, there they go. Putting hammer to axe. Blizzard coming out on the side of Saga, though, as they come out this corner. Neptune caught in the corner. Oh, Shillady just barely not able to escape. Repulsion taken down as well. Death Blossom coming out a bit late, trying to equalize here. Does catch the Lucio. Soundbarrier invested as well. Neotestin flipping this thing on its head and defying all odds to maintain control here for Neptune.
That shouldn't have worked.
That should not have worked.
That should have been a retreat. Get my ass out of there. Oh my god. Oh, Neo Tessin putting the team on his back. Dude, are your shoulders hurting?
Oh, that was a fantastic play coming out of the Reaper. Now they got to watch out. Slice coming up with one of his own. Maywall coming out from Neptune. Here comes the Earth Shatter as well. Slice on his butt. Oh, he's able to Wraith form. Here comes the Death Blossom. Will it be enough? Takes out both supports and gets Shillelagh on the Zarya. Looks like the Reaper has been the big difference maker here. But meanwhile, Neo and Repulsion picked up one. The Nano Boost had gone on to Jelly, and Neptune holds on despite the great Death Blossom.
Oh my goodness! I mean, that was a 3K in total from Neo Tessin there, or from Slice there. But man, that late Nano Boost onto Jelly, getting a Fire Strike kill in a late kill over that. So that was just great play from both teams.
And now Neptune with a nice ult advantage. Blizzard and Graviton Surge ready. Graviton Surge coming out immediately. Sound barriers there. Great plays from Zapdos.
Oh!
Will it be enough? No. Coupled with the Blizzard, there's just not enough healing to go around. And with just 94% left to go, Neptune looks like they might just tie things up here on Busan.
Oh man, just a quick little exit kill. Maybe a Hammond coming out. I don't know if he's going to be able to get there in time.
No, there's a big old Maywall in the way.
Oh, great turnaround from Neptune from the first point. Bigger aggression. The bigger aggression and what they have that the other side does not have. What is it that they don't have?
That's
Neptune
Zarya.
brought Lucio.
There's that too. I think the Shillelagh swap to Zarya was a big impact as well.
Absolutely, and Agiza on the Ana right now as their main healer is absolutely shredding with nanos, with the burst healing from the Bionade. Also, the anti is coming in. That Blizzard Grav combo had an anti-nade thrown into it, and there is no way any kind of healing would have helped there.
Well, now we're going to get Saga swapping over back to the Pharah here as we head into Sanctuary. I'm not seeing any counter from this on the other side. This could be dangerous. Slice making a big impact there in our opening round. We'll see if he can have the same effect here heading into round 3. They're also bringing out Hanzo here. A little extra shield break onto that front line while Neptune's gone back to the Orisa Sigma. And they are just going to rush forward with this traditional bunker comp. They're playing it extremely aggressively. And Neo Tessin coming up with the goods here. Neptune should be getting this point unlocked directly.
Yeah, the only thing that they don't have is a counter for the Pharah, but I mean, if your whole team's dead, it doesn't really matter if you're on the point or not.
Yeah, they're just going to obliterate the front line, and then the Pharah is the only one left, which is what had just happened in a nasty stagger kill coming through onto the pharmacy.
Jelly Bop got a huge rock onto Slice as he was trying to jump back in the air. My goodness, and then Jiho cleaning it up. Big plays from the squad from Neptune. I'm very impressed with this right now. Who needs a Hanzo? Who needs a hit when you've got a big old rock to throw at him?
Slice coming back in, 60% towards that barrage. We did get a tank lineup change coming out on Sagas. It looks like they're going to try to mirror the bunker composition, sit up on this far left drum, and see if they can get some early picks. Slice able to do just that, picking one out of the sky, and now barrage online and ready to go for the far as they're setting up this pincer attack coming in from both sides.
Yeah, this is a very good rotation coming from Slice and Can of Soup. The pharmacy combo coming around the backside. This could be very dangerous.
Yeah, it looks like Neptune just slowly getting picked off one at a time. The patience from Saga serving them well here. But all the while, 51% and counting on the board. In the end, Soulator coming up with some key picks there. And Saga should get this thing going in their favor.
I mean, it's still anybody's point here. Here we go. I think that's going to be the flip right there. Yep, 65% for Neptune on their first foray onto the point here in Sanctuary. You've got still that, what we were talking about, that ultimate discipline coming from Saga not investing the barrage there. You've got that online. You've got Coalescence and a Dragon Strike. So
on the other side, though, coming up on Blizzard, Supercharger, and then they've got Gravitic Flux and the Sound Barrier already in their pocket. This is going to be an ult extravaganza, folks. We'll see who can strike first. So far, it looks like both teams just kind of poking and prodding. Oh, Neptune backing up and allowing their Ash Player to take the Mercy out of the sky. What excellent coordination. And then here comes the Gravitic Flux. Catches 3 members in that. Erebros able to get the shot out of the sky. But Shillelagh picking up a kill. Neo picks a kill. And the Dragons and a counterpunch back. And Erebros on this Hanzo. A big 4K
Neo tested it to answering back, though. He's got 2 kills of his own.
Just dwindling members left on his point. Neo is going to have to go ahead and reset, though. Rez coming through onto that Hanzo. Man, that was a heck of a bare-knuckle brawl on that point.
And Jiho never got a chance to use that sound barrier because he's taken out early in the engagement and wasn't able to. I mean, there was no use in spending it at that point. So that's still on the board for them.
As well as that Blizzard. Here comes the Gravitic Flux from the other side. That's going to catch 3, but there goes that sound barrier. Perfectly timed there from Twice God. Now we're getting the Blizzard coming out from Neptune in response. Oh, the Sigma was so close to grasping it, but not quite. Instead, he is a popsicle on the point. And Neptune are just going to storm right over this thing. And they'll get this thing flipped back over. 85% versus 70. Super close here in round 3.
Absolutely. I mean, that was great work there. And you know what? Repulsion taking the Coalescence out of Zapdos's hands, getting frozen, not able to beam out anymore. And that was a huge take there.
Slice coming up on that barrage. Still got Bob and the Supercharger here on the side of Neptune as they're looking to hold on. Pretty much one fight here to decide it all. Several ultimates on both sides. Supercharger to start things off. Bob thrown into the mix as well. Here come the Dragons in response from Saga as their Orisa pushes on to the point. Shields going right on top of each other. Oh, but the Supercharger Nano Boost combo. Too much for them to handle. And it is Neptune Oceanus coming up with a 1-map lead.
Man, ult management, ladies and gentlemen. That is what won these maps here for both teams. They're on Busan, or on the downtown with Saga winning it there first. Just massive ult management. Look at that shatter. Just beautiful coming from Tybalt. You love to see it. We will be back with you guys in just a few minutes. Don't go away.
Oh, welcome back, my friends. We are here with Map 2 in our first match of our Tier 2 doubleheader today. This one between Neptune Oceanus and Saga Genesis. Neptune coming back there on Busan, stealing that victory, taking a 1-0 lead here in this matchup. Billy, as we head into King's Row, what changes do you think need to be made? What strengths can Saga Genesis fall back on to bounce back into this thing?
I think lose the Pharah for right now. I think that Neptune has the number on the Pharah. Or get a lot more aggressive with the Pharah, because I think there was way too much poking going on instead of getting in there and really securing the kills like we've seen in some of the other matches that we've seen. But I mean, Junior Jelly, he was really countering that Pharah with his rock. So
yes, sir.
There was a lot of counter going on to that Pharah, and they were actually taking out the Mercy, the pocket, before they were taking out Slice on the Pharah. So I think the swap's coming from Neptune, swapping over to the Ryan Zarya and then going back to an Orisa Sigma double shield. I think that they're just that one step ahead right now. And ult management, both sides are showing great patience, great discipline.
Agreed.
It's literally a fight here or there, and it could have easily gone 2-1 Saga. So
a very tight race so far.
It's a very tight race. So I think that I think going in here now into King's Row, I think that we are in for a very knockdown, drag them out, hopefully 5-map fight here. But as we go into King's Row, we're going to have Saga on the attack, and here, we haven't seen a Bastion come out yet. So either attack or we haven't seen him out on attack or defense, or across all the matches that we've done this week. I haven't seen it. So he's a hit scan. That's an automatic counter to Pharah right there. Also pulling Torbjorn out. If you put the Torbjorn out there, that's another good one, if you're looking at it defensively. So, you've got to expect that Slice is going to come out onto the Pharah. But here, there's so many ways you could go with this. You could go Ryan Zarya, you could go total brutal comp. You could go total smash mouth, you could go death ball. I mean, it's player's choice here.
Well, before we get to King Row, we did have a host coming through from WOA Esports. I really appreciate that, my friends. Huge. Thank you so much for the support. And we did have a question about our doubleheader. So later on tonight, we will be seeing a Valor going up against No Sympathy Academy. But here in the present, we have Map 2 of Neptune versus Saga. Looks like Saga going to go with the Reinhardt, Zarya here on the side of the offense. Slice coming out with that Pharah. Meanwhile, Neptune's also going to stick with the Rein Zarya defense, but we're going to get the Junkrat May to put the hurt down. And they got the Ana Lucio in their support department, and I really like that support lineup.
I do too. I absolutely love this. I love the rotation also. I would think that they want to maybe go up the high ground up there, and they're listening to me. They're listening to me again.
Yeah, and Neptune has to avoid the LOS on this Pharah, so they're not able to quite, I think, rotate and match like they would want to. They are going to put a wall up, just kind of divide them off for a little bit, perhaps buy some time, put some poke onto that Pharah, but they're not going to find the kill. Oh, and a dividing wall coming up on the side of Saga as they push in here. Forces a charge out from Jellybop. Oh, but seems to serve him the bubble right there from Shillady. Shillady there to back up the main tank. Finds the kill. Exo Brute cleaning up as well, and the defense from Neptune forcing back the members of Saga here on their first assault.
Let me tell you, that wall from Urboros was absolutely huge, sectioning off Jellybop. He was dead to rights. Big bubble come out from Shillelagh, and then Exo Brute actually throwing Tybalt off of his main tank, and they ended up securing the kill there. So huge stuff coming out from the defense here.
Saga is coming back with this barrage in their pocket, ready to go, and they've made a swap over to the Sigma here, perhaps to counter the Mei a little bit of double shield, a little bit of that kinetic grasp action. Iron Bolt's going to open things up with a kill, but sacrifices himself in the process. 5v5, and that leaves Saga wide open for a nice Earth Shatter. The barrage is not enough to counter back that nano-boosted Reinhardt, just cleaning up that point. And Neptune holding on here once again. Yeah. Man,
Repulsion just absolutely lasered with that icicle to the dome of Slice. Also, a big sleep coming out from Enagiza. In the middle of that barrage, actually ended that barrage prematurely. So great plays coming from the defense here all around from all roles. Man, now you've got a Blizzard and a Tire online. That could be disgusting.
Yep, Tire's coming out of the hotel now. They opt not to combo them, and that might have been a mistake. As Soul Eater able to pick off the Tire. Great play coming out of the Sigma. Repulsion is going to find the kill onto the Moira, though. And that's a large chunk of their healing missing. Sound Barrier coming out from the other side. Earth Shatter there, but still a little bit of that health left from the Sound Barrier. And Neptune able to survive. Exo Brute responds with a revenge kill onto that Reinhardt. Said, how dare you lay us flat? I'm going to kill you for it. But here comes the res on that Blizzard used to cover it. Reinhardt back in battle. But they lose their Sigma. They lose their Mei. And I believe the defense here slightly edging this thing out. But Slice picking up a nice exit kill there. A little bit of a window of opportunity if Saga strikes quickly.
But look at Shillady, glowing like a lantern right now. Probably about 80 charge on the Russian.
Was exactly 80 when you said it.
I play tanks. I know what they look like.
Graviton Surge in her pocket as well. Blizzard for them also available to use. They do have to watch out for that barrage on the other side, and they do not have that Sound Barrier anymore. We'll see if Saga can find the opening to use it. Here comes the Blizzard with the Graviton Surge. Don't think they got a hole. Okay, they did get the Sigma with it. Oh, Bolt not able to escape either. They just chase him down as he was trying to run away out of the cold. And Neptune looking dominant here on the defense. Just 15 seconds left for Saga to make something happen.
Yep, and you've got almost another Tire. You've almost got a Sound Barrier. You've got Nano and Shatter in your pocket. Slice could turn this on the head with that barrage. Here comes a massive Gravitic Flux out of Soul Eater.
Oh, he gets slit before he can drop him and slam him to the ground. Excellent play coming in. Anigaza there. Enagiza, excuse me. Oh, but Shillady's going to come up with the first blow. Tire from Exo Brute finds two. And this defense indomitable on King's Row.
Man, oh my goodness, that is some serious exit kills coming from the side of Neptune. Full hold on King's Row. We have not seen that yet, my friends. This is a dominant defense. They are firing on all cylinders. I think they ate their Wheaties in their break there.
They definitely did. They definitely ate just like all the Wheaties. I think they had boxes of Wheaties for each player.
No, they had 1984 Michael Jordan freaking...
Yeah, pulled out of the golden vault. All the magic. Now, the question, the real burning question is, did they put the cereal in first or the milk in first? That's the burning question.
That is the burning question. And how many scoops of sugar did they put in? Because I think the sugar is what's really got them zipping on all cylinders right now. But seriously, Enagiza right now is my little match MVP on this Ana. A sleep onto a barraging Pharah and a sleep onto a gravitic flexing Sigma. Two massive sleeps coming from the antiquated, distinguished Egyptian healer. sleeping her daughter midair. That's not nice, Mom.
Had to put daughter to bed, had to tuck her in all nice and tight.
You know, when you have outbursts like that, sometimes you have to be put to bed.
Well, now Saga going on the defense here, hoping they can match. They did get a 54% of progress, so they do still have the potential here to clutch this out, but it is going to take a stalwart defense here on the side of Saga to make this happen. They are bringing the Reinhardt Orisa here to try to do just that. Mei Hanzo putting her down.
Oh my goodness, they're bringing out the healer cord that I've been wanting to see all freaking map here, or all week here. Lucio Brigitte.
Yeah, taking a page out of a little bit of contenders there. Exobert was trying to do a duel the Hanzo there on the high ground, thought better of it, and they're just going to go all the way back around through Hotel, come in as a unified front. But they lose the Mei as they're trying to push through. Too much damage coming through. They couldn't get out those doors. Saga ready for them. Nice bash coming through, disabling that Reinhardt just ever so briefly, but there's no follow-up there. And it looks like the defense are going to chase the members of Neptune right back out here, start things off.
Yeah, chasing them back to spawn, as a matter of fact. No exit kills there, though, so I think a really good kite from the remaining members of Neptune there. Man, that was a very good, staunch defense. They broke a little bit, but they didn't break. And, yeah, they've got ultimates to play with right now.
Yeah, Neptune does not, at least not yet. We'll see how they choose to approach her on their second engagement. Coalescence coming out early on the side of the defense. Maywall trying to divide up the Reinhardt. Another Maywall on the defense, but Junior just goes diving in headlong. He is no fear there on the side of that Reinhardt, but Earthshatter on the other side. Perhaps a little caution might have been advised there for the main tank as the rest of his team just gets decimated behind him. And so far, great showing here from Saga on this defense. Two good holds.
They did invest both of their ultimates there, though. I think you hold the once the coalescence didn't really do what it wanted to do. I think you hold on to the shatter for a little bit more, but I mean they did end up getting 3 kills out of it, so
yeah,
they got the value.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say as a shatter well used. Supercharger coming out on the side of the defense now, perhaps a little early, as Neptune had not quite committed yet. They're just gonna hide behind Statue until it runs out.
Great placement on it, though. I mean, there's no way to touch that.
Truth.
Great placement from Soul Eater.
Now we got both tank ultimates online for Neptune, and they got the green light. Here we go. The Mei walls are up. The battle in. Sound barrier, Earthshatter used, but Junior is frozen stiff. Dragon's coming out from the other side. Blizzard thrown in from the defense as well. And it is going to be 2 kills coming through for Saga on the back of that. The Reaper down, the Mei down here for Neptune, and it is back to the drawing board with just a $120 on the clock.
$120 on the clock, but if you look at the ultimate department right now, you've got Shatter and Coalescence online available for Saga, but you have almost 3 online, and these 3 are going to be absolutely nasty if they're played in combo.
Yeah, they've definitely got the tools to take this thing home. We'll be keeping a sharp eye on this Reaper in particular. Who's going to set him up? How is he going to use this Death Blossom? All right, similar approach, staging behind Statue here for Neptune. All right, they're going to go off to the right-hand side. Charge right in. There's the speed boost. That's the signal to go. Earthshatter comes out, but it is blocked. Great shield by Junior. Blizzard invested in, and there's that Death Blossom. Death Blossom fighting, too. Exo picks up the kill onto the Orisa as well. He's not done. Turns his attention onto the Mei, and that is it. 2-point on the board here, or 2-map lead here for Neptune.
Yep, I mean, the Wombo combo there was the Blizzard. I don't even think they invested the Grav into it. So, I mean, Blizzard Death Blossom is enough. They caught enough people in it. That wall blocked off the Coalescence from Lucy Willis. That would have been able to sustain the team. So, yeah, great patience, great discipline once again on the ultimates from the side of Neptune. We will be back with you in just a few moments, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away.
Hello, my friends. We are here at halftime in our Tier 2 matchup between Neptune Oceanus and Saga Genesis. Neptune up 2-0 here in this console Overwatch multi-tier tournament matchup. But before we get into map 3, we wanted to take a moment because today we have a day of mourning in China for all the people that have passed away from the coronavirus. And we wanted to take a moment here to acknowledge all the people worldwide that have sacrificed, made the ultimate sacrifice here. A lot of the nurses putting themselves on the front line every day. And we are going to take 60 seconds in silence to honor those people before we head into map 3. So please join us while we take a minute. Thank you, my friends. Much love and respect to all the people out there doing their best to fight this thing and flatline this virus. But now,
I need a tissue.
now to breathe a little brevity and much needed lightheartedness into this crazy times that we have, let's get into map 3 of this Tier 2 matchup. Neptune up 2-0 here at the half. Can Saga Genesis bounce back, start their reverse sweep here on Horizon Lunar Colony?
Yeah. Sorry, my voice is gonna be a little bit full of emotion right now as I was just thinking about everything going on. Yeah, I think they can. I mean, once again, it's just a battle here or there. I mean, they were absolutely stonewalling the team from Neptune on the attack there. I mean, it's one or two hits here or there, and that's the real difference in this match. It's just one or two fights. So I think that Genesis absolutely has a chance to come back here, and I think that maybe Horizon Lunar Colony will play to their strengths. As I send us in, we do have a couple of subs coming in for Saga Genesis. We've got Game Side coming in for Herberos. We've got Canasoup coming in for Zapdos, and Miffed Goose coming in for Lucy Willis on the support line. No changes coming from Neptune here as they go on to the attack here in Horizon Lunar Colony, our favorite map in space. Pigs in space! That really dates me, but I'm okay with that.
But one of my favorites.
I haven't seen Roadhog yet. We saw one team play Roadhog here and this week and just absolutely shredded with him.
Oh, so true. Oh, man. That was the boss surprising me. Holy
yeah.
cow.
So, looks like we've got a very interesting comp coming out from the side from Neptune. Looks like we're going with a Doom Bastion setup, running the Ryan Zarya, and then running the Lucio Brigitte. I love it. Pulling a page out of European Contenders. They actually started this trend, and then the Chinese picked it up afterwards. But I really love this support combo. It gives you brawl and it gives you speed. So, yeah, that's going to be a big player right now.
Yeah, I enjoy that as well. The Doomfist in there, thrown into the mix, try to get those early picks. And it looks like they are going to utilize that speed and just path right underneath Saga here. We did get that side swap, so Neptune is in the red jersey, starting us off on the attack, and they're moving directly onto the objective, wasting zero time. And already looking to threaten for that first tick. The Orisa dropping down from the high ground in the challenge. Now the Sigma is going to join, but they are playing Neptune's game here as they're trying to get up close and personal into the Reinhardt Zarya, into the Mei Doomfist, and so far it is not working out. Trying to come in to get the res. No, cannot quite get the res. Man, that was an ambitious try. Got to admire that. But it looks like this attack will make a quick work of point A.
Oh, big wall coming out from Repulse again, too. Denying Junkrat the spam from above. He's almost got it. He's got a tire online. He dies with the tire in his pocket. This could start a huge snowball, but he does have that tire online. So whatever progress they do get here could be threatened very quickly by a well-placed tire.
Yeah, and that's important to distinguish what is going on to help fight off this snowball. We do have that. Oh, Meteor Strike is wasted as EXO cannot get a chance to use it. Nevertheless, the front line cleaning up here. Jellypop does have that Earthshatter line. Here comes the tire trying to stave off this massive amount of aggression, but already 80% picked up. Look at this time bank. Oh my goodness. Neptune just storming over this objective. We are going to get dragons coming out from the back of the point. Earthshatter there to try to shut down this stall coming out. And this is going to be a lightning fast time bank unless something happens. No!
5 minutes and 5 seconds! Holy
wow!
God.
Not even the tire could stave off the snowball.
Snowball is greater than tire. We all know that. Kung Fu Pandas tells us so.
Wow.
Oh,
that was a matter of seconds. It felt like that attack just ended, just happened. What did we just see, Billy? Holy cow.
What we saw was supreme aggression and a chest fully puffed out from Neptune. They said, you're playing on our team. So they dictated the term of every fight there. They were never able to be dislodged from the point when they decided they were going in. They went in balls to the wall, and they just planted their feet, and it was done from there. And Agiza, once again, where I'm mentioning that player's name, pulling out the rally in the middle of all of that to keep her team up, and absolutely shredding with the flail and the whip, and the bashes, stunned Soul Eater on the Hammond, and there was just nothing. There was no answer for anything they came out with. So right now, Neptune's just playing with a reckless abandon, and it's working so well.
And now going on the defense here, hoping that phenomenal assault can give them the 3-0 lead and the match victory here. Of course, in this 4-map set, we would still play that 4th map. Map points always important here in this tournament. Oh, EXO sitting up in this top corner, taking a page out of Decay's book here. Wall coming up to divide off the attack as we're getting the double shield coming out from the other side. Symmetra strategy, but they don't even get a chance to get set up. Oh, this is, I'm not sure this Symmetra is going to work. How are you going to get around this Junkrat? All right, they're going to teleport.
You don't.
Yeah, they're just going to have to go to stairs. That's exactly what they're doing. They have to go challenge the high ground. Oh, but they've got to get past this May wall. And the front line split off from the back. Bolt in serious trouble somehow manages to survive the onslaught. Oh, but it is going to be Junior Jelly coming up with first pick. Takes that Symmetra down. And Agiza comes up with a nice follow-up. 2-man advantage here for the defense. And it is back to spawn here for Saga.
Yeah, 3 minutes left on the clock. They got some pretty good ultimate pickup there, though. I think they're going to have to rely on ultimates to break this defensive wall that is being shown by Neptune right now. The double shield. We thought it was dead. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not dead. Right now, they are showing that Orisa Sigma is superior to Rein Zarya. And now Soul Eater Queen has now gone back over to the Orisa. I forgot to mention that from earlier. So yeah, that is big. Also, Slice swapping over to the Reaper now.
Yes, indeed. But they're still keeping the Symmetra strat. That's the one swap I think they needed to make. Here comes a tire right on top of all of them. 2 kills right at the feet, including that Brig. And now Saga forced to try to push in here at a 2-man disadvantage. They do pick up. No, never mind. They lose Slice. They lose Bolt. No, they are falling like dominoes.
Oh, man.
And the defense from Neptune, just a brick wall here so far on Horizon.
And I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but once again, ult management. They invested the 1 tire, and that was it.
Yeah.
They relied on their technical and mechanical skills to get them through that engagement. So once again, Exo Brute right now is showing his class on this Australian for us.
And with that discipline, they have 4 ultimates online. And they've got that Blizzard coming up shortly thereafter, so a lot of tools to work with. Exo's going to go ahead and drop down, does find the kill onto that Symmetra. And once again, Saga trying to push in at a disadvantage. What can they do to bounce back here? Oh, man, they just getting cut off. Oh, man. Neptune just having their way with them right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you go dive. I think that you pull out dive characters and you use speed to get around the shielding and use the aggression from an Elucio to get you in there. That's one thing. I think pulling a Pharah out right now wouldn't be a bad idea. They don't really have anything other than, I mean, we've seen Repulse take down Slice on the Pharah, so I mean, he's a bit of a marksman with the Ice Queen, but man, you've got to do something. You've got to switch something up. You can't keep going in the same way.
Yeah, and that defense from Neptune didn't use a single ult in that last fight. Now they've got all 6 online. Exo's trying to get up close and personal. Supercharger coming out on the side of the defense to open things up. Rally there for Saga as they're going to path around the far left side this time. But Tire's going to drop. Oh, what a perfect photon barrier. Completely blocks the Tire. Fantastic play coming out of the Symmetra there. Dying Wish saving her team. And now Coalescence thrown in. Bolt's going to drop the hammer as well. Everything in the kitchen sink coming out of Saga. Will it be enough? All the ultimates used. Gravitic Flux, the last one, coming out of Neptune. And it found a few, but I think Saga might have opened this thing up. We'll see. This is turned into an all-round cage match here on the first point of Ludicality. And it does look like the offensive Saga will find new life that they can take into point B.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it took the kitchen sink, but I mean, Slice is absolutely doing some nasty work on the Reaper here. Game side needs to really think about swapping off of the Symmetra, even though the photon barrier did save their lives and save their ability to stay in this match. As we are on match point for Neptune here, I mean, they're not going to even come close to the time bank put up by them. But I mean, getting them into overtime will at least keep the dream alive for a little bit.
I like Exobrute's positioning up here. He's just got all the room in the world to work. This Saga's going to go far left-hand side. Wall up a little early. Didn't quite catch the main tank. Now the bunker comp of Neptune kind of forced to back off a little bit as Saga's making the way onto the objective. Death Blossom in their pocket, so they do have that to work with here. And it is going to be game coming up with first kill on the Junkrat. Death Blossom thrown into the mix. That's going to take out Junior Jelly. And Saga might just snowball this thing. What a turn of events. After getting shut down in the first point for so long, man, they found the grit to push through here and keep their hope alive here in this matchup.
Yep, absolutely. Here's Hammond in for a stall tactic. I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to do, but I mean, Slice is just owning him right now, picking up 3.
Exo coming through on the Doomfist, but it has no impact. He does not find what he's looking for, cannot get past those dual shotguns of Slice. Though Neptune at 8, a lot of time off the clock. I think this will eventually be going to, yes, Saga will put that second point on the board, but they were under that 2-minute mark, which means no change in times.
Nope, no change in times, which means they're going to have about a 3.5-minute deficit to what Neptune did there. That was, I mean, great snowball into point B for Saga. Kudos to them for not giving up and continuing to fight on. I mean, that was an impressive push from them. You got to hand it to them. That was very impressive work from them. And under normal circumstances, a minute 33, you're happy with that.
I think it's a real testament to their mental here. I mean, where a weaker team might have gotten boomed after so many failed attempts on point A, Saga digging deep and pulling themselves up by their bootstraps here in Horizon.
Now, I think the switch over to Junkrat from game side, he started fragging out there on the second point. He went ahead and dropped the Symmetra after capturing the first point. And, man, he was laying waste with his concussion mines and his grenades. So I think that the switching to the spam damage threw Neptune for a wrench there.
Well, they're going back on the defense, Neptune. Trying to see if they can put up a great defense on point A once again. Slice. Looks like he's going to treat us with the fire here on the side of the attack. Game going over to the Reaper. What do you think about this Pharah pick here?
I think it's great. You're going to test Repulse. I think that's what he's doing. I think he says,
Yep.
You take me out of the sky.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Doesn't look like Neptune is ready to counter this. It's going to be up to Inagiza here to try to pick off the Pharah.
She did it before.
Indeed, indeed. All right, Pharah putting a lot of pressure up onto that high ground. While meanwhile, the front line moving down low and making their way onto the objective here for Saga. Walk coming out from the attacking teams. They're trying to hold them off here. Gamsi looked like he was feigned going in deep and then just pulled right back out. As the members of Saga are going to force to kind of fall back behind this pillar, see if they can push back on this assault. Little flank coming around. Game going in the back line, looking for something. Oh, but on the front line, the tanks have just swarmed over that of Saga here. And Neptune finding the picks here. I think we got to get a reset out of Saga here if they want one more attack.
Yeah, you got 30 seconds left on the clock to be able to reaggress onto the point. They're getting close to a barrage, so that could be a game changer. And Tybalt already threw in one shatter, is already almost 60% to another one. Soul Eater maybe get the Gravitic Flux if they're able to contest for long enough.
Ooh, Slice trying to chase down Exo on that Junkrat. Got him low. There's the final blow. Hits him with the direct. And now Barrage is ready to go. Slice moving on to the point. 3 seconds on the clock. Somebody's got to touch. Okay, their tank's moving on to the objective. Get that overtime started. Gamzee moving in the front line. See if he can put some pressure on with the shotguns. Here comes the Barrage out. Barrage finds 3. Slice coming through in the clutch.
At 4, 5.
That would
They're
be
going to be able to do this.
They're going to put 3 points on the board here. 5K coming through for Slice on that Pharah.
I mean, you're not going to have but 30 seconds on the clock after they go ahead and capture this point. You got to start moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. Move forward.
Yeah, they've got to push. They've got to push quickly, but they do have both tank ultimates coming online here. But on the other side, the defense, look at those ultimates. They're going to have 5 ultimates to work with here as they look to fend off this attack. All right, one chance here for Saga to put that 4th point on the board.
Bit of an early wall there from Repulse.
Ooh, Earthshatter coming out from the attacking team here. Finds a couple, does finally get the final blow onto the Lucio. Gravitic Flux coming out from Saga as well, and that's going to take out the Orisa. Oh, but a counterpunch coming back here from Neptune as they're looking to hold on. Junior on this Sigma, just doing his darndest, trying to hold things off, and he finds 3 kills! The Sigma coming through for him. Slice still hovering above, still threatening, and picks off 2 kills, but does eventually fall as he has to drop and lands too close to the sun. 3 points is all Saga will get here on Horizon.
Man, big props to Saga there. Holy crap. If they had maybe another 15 seconds, that might have been 4 points on the board for them because they had all the pieces going. But man, Junior Jelly Bop on the Sigma, absolutely clicking heads.
Yeah.
With the Sigma, with the Hyperspheres and the Rock. Also mitigating a lot of damage from Saga there with his Gravitic Grasp. So impressive stuff from both teams there. Slice absolutely carrying the map there in the end for them. But yeah, 3 points on the board. So I mean, if they hold them here, it can happen. We've seen it. We've seen it happen. A massive time bank, and they just become staunch defenders. It could happen.
And though they got denied there for their 4th point, I still feel like Saga's built up a bit of momentum here.
Absolutely. I mean, you got it. I mean, their chests are puffed out right now.
Yeah. We'll see if Neptune can answer back. They certainly have plenty of time on the clock to do it. Looks like Saga's bringing us the Reinhardt Orisa again on the defense. And then we're going to have Junkrat and Hanzo put the hurt down with a Lucimorio combo, keep him alive. On the side of the offense. Yeah, it's kind of an as well. I have to agree with that. Looks like we're getting Ryan Zarya here out of Neptune. Their extra inning round has begun. Looking to close out this match. Taking a lot of spam damage here right out of the gate as they're going to try to path up through the high ground. Going all the way around, make sure they can clear this off. I think they're going to try to put pressure on the game there on the other side. Perhaps just put some damage down from above. Oh, a nice boop. Dislodges the Zarya, and now she's on her own and just lands in a trap. Oh, unlucky turn of events there for Shalady. Looks like she will manage to go rejoin the rest of the team as Saga's just sitting up on the high ground, poking and prodding, waiting for their opportunity to push it.
Exo.
Neptune. Yeah.
Yep, for Neptune up here. Exo on the Doomfist, going in and just banging heads, getting a bubble. Man, a bubble Doomfist, that is something that you don't see very often, but man, I like the play.
Yeah, Saga able to keep him in check for the meantime. So far, both teams kind of at a stalemate here. Still 6-on-6 as Neptune just peering into this objective, looking for the right opportunity. Little poke
Yeah,
from Karate. Nice fire strike coming out from Bolt there. Sound Barrier online, Earthshatter coming online here for the attacking team. Sound Barrier to open things up as they're going to put the pressure on. Coalescence in response. Coming out of Saga on the defense. Here comes the Earthshatter. Earthshatter finds two. Gamesy's going to throw the tire in as well. But good counter back from the other side. Shaladian managed to get a couple picks. Repulsion now finding the goods as well. Oh, Soul Eater found one before going down. And as both teams lose a ton of members, it's just the May and the Lucio left capping here on point A for Neptune.
I think they got to get in here and contest. I don't think you can allow them because this is match point. Big wall coming up from him.
Bolt's going to try to get in. Bolt does have that Earthshatter coming online. Can he get there in time? He does manage to get there in time. Gets the contest in. Oh, but waste. No, he did not waste the Earthshatter. It looked like he had tried to use it, but got taken out. Fortunately, he still had it in his pocket and will have that to try to stave off the snowball here. But that's match point. This is a victory, I believe. Oh, no, I guess they can hold. Yeah, because if they hold here, it's still a draw.
Yeah, I mean, they've just got to get one percentage tick here, or I'm sorry, one tick of progress, and it's game over. It'll be a 3-0 if they do end up getting that one tick here. However, if Saga are able to hold here, they will be able to. They will lose the match. It'll be 2-0-1 at that point, and no chance to tie.
At this point, yes, Neptune has closed out the match. All right, coming in, of course, they're going to want those 3 points, the fourth point on the board, the third overall map point. They do have that Meteor Strike in their pocket, Blizzard as well. On the side of the defense, holding on to both tank ultimates. Sound Barrier coming online. So this is going to be a tight engagement here. We'll see who can find the edge. I expect to see Blizzard coming out early.
Absolutely, and Sly swiping off of the Hanzo, going to the Reaper to take care of these tanks because I think the tanks had their way with the front line there.
Exo Brute decides it's time to go in, but just gets immediately deleted. But here comes the rest of Neptune trying to follow it up. Repulse and counter him back. Finds the Reinhardt on the other side. Supercharger Sound Barrier coming out from Saga, looking to stave off this aggression. Slice finds a big pick in that, but now he's frozen stiff. And Giza is low, gets taken out. Slice thaws out, finds the kill onto the Brig. Turns his attention to the May, picks off the May. And the defense of Saga holding on here for the meantime.
Yep, and almost a 6-pack of ultimates ready to go. For the side from Saga, or for the side from Neptune. So this could be a Y-mash right now. And yeah, you got to think they've got Shatter, and they've almost got Tire, so they could hold here.
Yeah, looks like Neptune is just banking. They're just saving up, putting all of their eggs in this basket here. Rally to start. Rally. Yep. Meteor Strike thrown in. The good opening. Graviton Surge now coming in, and they're going to throw the Space Jam into the mix. That got one, but there's Sound Barrier Coalescence coming out on the side of the defense to try to keep them topped off. Sound Barrier used here from Neptune, though. And there comes the Blizzard, the final ultimate, and the nail in the coffin here for Saga.
Oh, man, great. I mean, there's nothing you can really do against a 6-pack of ultimates that were set up like that. So, I mean, it was just a matter of time there with the 6-pack of ultimates. Really good stacking of ultimates there, staggering them out. So we do see Neptune go up 3-0 here in our Week 2 Tier 2 matchup, and we will be back with you in just a few moments. Man, what a barrage.
Welcome back, my friends. The Console Overwatch multi-tier tournament brought to you by CGL. My name's Bull Skunk alongside Chef Billy here, bringing you some Tier 2 action. Neptune up 3-0 with the match victory here as we head into Map 4, looking to complete their 4-0 sweep. But Saga, we saw some real tenacity, real grit, and some new life in them. And what do you think, Billy? You think they can come back and take this fourth map?
Bastion.
Yes, sir.
Bastion's a great equalizer. Bastion's a great equalizer on this map, especially because he can get set up in some really funky positions and, really put the hurt down onto what's going on. Neptune right now, we were talking about it in the break, just a touch better discipline when it comes to the mid-fight. Sometimes there's a panic ult thrown in there from Saga or a misplaced wall in the mid-fight. But Slice showing up big on that on Horizon Lunar Colony, getting the 4K 3 with the barrage, and then another exit kill out of the barrage. Keeping his team in it and actually getting that first point in the overtime, even with only 1:35 left in their time bank. So big stuff coming from Saga. I really like the signs of life. I like the tenacity. I like the heart being shown by this team.
Yes, sir.
From the Saga org. So, I mean, big ups to them. But Neptune right now is just marching right along. You know, it was just a mash the Y button party on the second point there at Horizon Lunar Colony. So coming in here, I mean, it's a match win already, but map points do count. So let's see. I want to see Saga take this map. We saw it happen last night when we went to map 5, and yeah, I mean, never count a team out. Never, never, never.
Never. I couldn't agree more. We did get the side swap. Saga starting us off on the offense again here as we head into Sunny Cuba. They're going to path out through this right side, and Neptune taking a super aggressive defensive stance here with the Doomfist and the Reaper. Up close and personal damage, but Slice back onto that far, and he's managed to find an angle here on the outside, and I'm not sure Neptune brought a counter here. Putting a lot in the hands of Inagiza on that Ash. So far trading out. Saga losing their Orisa here out the side, and so far Slice not able to find the rockets I think that he needs to tilt this thing.
Yeah, and we did have a substitution coming in, Neo Tessin coming in for Repulse. Who we saw playing that fantastic May through the first 3 maps. So Neo Tessin getting to come in here, and on the other side, swapping out their support line, Zapdos coming in, and also Lucy Willis coming in.
Well, now Saga's done a pretty good job of surrounding the members of Neptune, and they do find themselves a couple kills, but Neptune answering right back, and it's a 4v4 here on this objective. Of course, that big respawn advantage. Oh, that was an interesting mid-air rock as Soul Eater gets taken out, but the respawn advantage, like I was saying, should allow Saga here to get this cart moving.
Yeah, Neotest is not getting off the point either. He is trying to hold this here at bay to prevent any kind of a progress being gotten by Saga. So, I mean, yeah, he does pay for it with his life there, but they're just now starting to move the payload and already 1.5 minutes off the time bank.
But with that stagger kill, Neo Tessin out of the fight here for another 10 seconds. He did manage to build up towards that Death Blossom, but all the while, 1-man advantage here for the offense as Saga is just conservatively riding this card around, staying behind cover, not getting too aggressive here so far.
Now, GameSive is playing on this Ash right now, getting a lot of value.
And a huge Earth Shatter coming out from the defense. Finds 3, but the follow-up not quite there. Junior Jelly trying to push in, but gets denied back, and now the Gravitic Flux counterpunch from the other side. The offense looks to make some happen. Oh, but Neo Tessin dropping into the back line, throws down his Death Blossom, trades 1 for 1. No a DPS gone for both sides here. Soul Eater gets 2, and the barrage finds 3. Slice once again on this Farah.
Oh my goodness, young man. Come forth again. Another massive barrage coming from the side of Saga, their main DPS player. Man, absolutely clicking heads and pressing Y in the most opportune places.
Yeah, a phenomenal individual performance coming out of him, and a big reason Saga is still got a little signs of life here. Oh, he is going to drop Neo Tessin, finding that kill up in the air. Graviton Surge coming out from the defense as well. Sound Barrier or Supercharger, in response. Oh, but it is not enough. Not enough damage to fend off the defense, and Neptune will plant their feet on the back of point A here.
Oh my goodness. Anna Giza, come forth, you crazy Egyptian. That was a massive anti-nade thrown into that Gravitic, or into that Graviton Surge. My goodness, that was huge.
Well, now Saga coming back. They do have a couple ults in their pocket to work with. They're going to have Bob as well as the Coalescence. But they got to go into 2 support ults on the other side. Slice taking a big shot early. Lucy there, keeping her Farah alive. Exo Brute opening things up here in this engagement. Finds first blood. Moira gone. Big chunk of healing missing here on the side of the attacking team. With that, it is Neptune's cue to push in. Go, go, go. Nano boost on the Reinhardt. And he's just swinging. Just keep swinging. Junior Jelly Bop is swinging for the fences.
My goodness, that was huge. And I mean, Slice doing the absolute right thing with all that aggression. Oh my goodness, how did you get the Farah out of the air like that?
That was a nice little wrist blaster there. Now, desperation time here for Saga. No! Bolt! Bolt gets booped back and cannot touch cart. Oh, and luckers for them. And Now Neptune, win condition set.
4-0 sweep condition set.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
82 point, almost 83 meters of progress. Man. Slice was doing everything he could to just mess with the back line. He was going up through the theater or the little courthouse here and getting behind them and just taking out the back line. They had no answer for him. I mean, obviously, Boomfist with the wrist rockets took her out of the sky. I kind of was shocked by that. But
that's not something you see every day.
No, it's not. I mean, it was just odd, but awesome all at the same time. I think right there, the massive aggression shown by Neptune, holding them a minute and a half at spawn. I mean, even with Neotessan being killed on the payload there, he died on the point, so they couldn't progress without him being dead. So, I mean, they had a definite theory of how to keep Saga pinned in there. Big ups to Saga, though. They did get it around the corner. I didn't think they would get that far, and I'm not trying to be overly critical, but man, they were just getting spawn camped.
Well, Slice go back on the far here as Saga goes on the defense. Hoping that they've done enough and hoping they can hold Neptune here and get rid of that goose egg here in the map score. Pharmacy just right above, and again, a super aggressive defense coming out from Saga as well. Oh! Game went into the back and just got slept in a dangerous position. Does eventually get taken out. His Wraiththor not enough to get him to safety. And Exobrute coming through on the Genji here. Picking up a couple key picks. Neo finds a couple as well. Ooh, the Brave Res does actually manage to work. Will it buy enough time for Saga to get back here and put up another contest?
If the take line pushes forward and takes the space that's required, I don't know if they do. I think they do, but man, I mean, just a dominant performance right here. Even with the attempted spawn camp, and I think Slice and Lucy on the Mercy were doing an absolutely fantastic job there, keeping them pinned.
We've got Reaper waiting in the high ground, just sitting up there sneakily waiting for his opportunity to just pounce, and there it is. He tries to go in and find the back line, does not get what he's looking for, and he's going to get chased out, but Slice, meanwhile, does pick off the star on a player there here for Neptune. Neotessan answering right back. Shillelagh finds one as well. The Mercy goes in, does get the res onto that Pharah, but Saga at a massive disadvantage here, and Jellybop with that Earth Shatter ready to close this thing out. Slice trying to go around to the back, 83% towards the barrage. We've seen some phenomenal ults. Oh, but does not get a chance to build it up this time. Neo clicking heads, picking them out of the sky. Now it's GameZ coming back in, see if he can find something here on the back end. Oh, no. Wraith Foreman out, does not get anything. Neptune acting as one cohesive unit here, taking them out one by one, and they will complete the 4-0 sweep here on Havana.
I mean, just pure aggression, pure coordinated focus fire from Neptune. What a dominant performance, Skunk, from this new team representing Neptune Esports. Man, they looked good.
Yeah, they looked very good, no doubt, no doubt. One we'll be keeping an eye on here in this Tier 2 scene. But not taking anything away from Saga. Definitely liked, as you put, the heart coming out of that team, especially there on map 3. Slice putting up a heck of a performance on the Pharah. In the end, it is not enough. And Neptune walking away with a clean sweep.
It was just coordination all around. The coordination being shown by Neptune for a Tier 2 team is kind of scary. That was really, really clean. So I think big ups to them. Big heart from Saga, Lucy, and company. You guys played fantastic. I just think we're up against one today. We go again next week, though. Great time from everybody. And as I always say, wash your hands. We've got a doubleheader coming up. Got to get ready for it.
Indeed, indeed. Neptune going up 2-0 here in the tournament. Saga falling to 1-1. And that will do it for us here in our first matchup. We will be back at 8 o'clock Eastern for another Tier 2 matchup between Valor and No Sympathy Academy. I hope to see all your smiling faces then. In the meantime, let's flatline this virus and remember to always look out for each other in game and out. We'll see you back here in about 30 minutes.